Hello, hello, hello. Good morning to all my friends out there. I hope everyone is doing well on this Monday, February 5th. Can you believe it's February already? Gosh, the time is just going by so quickly. For those of you that are new to my channel, I am Roxanne Carne, personal wardrobe stylist. I help women transform their wardrobe and their lives. And I am so blessed to be able to do this every single day. And here at Hot Happenings, I'm just kind of giving you, a little bit of insight of what kind of goes on in the industry, trends that I'm seeing, things that I love, things perhaps that I don't love, kind of what we've got going on here for our styling business, really all the good stuff. So yeah, no, we've got a lot to talk about today, and I'm in a really, really great mood. I'm pretty much almost always in a good mood. We are always so busy and always working on exciting stuff. And I was talking to a stylist friend of mine over the weekend how grateful we are to just like stop and, smell the roses, so to speak. It's so easy to go, 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 go all the time. But then to have those moments where you just stop and reflect and be like, okay, we did that. I did that, right? So yeah, in a really great space. And I think too, also for me, I don't know about any of you out there, but the weather definitely affects my mood. And last week here in Dallas, it has been so dreary. It's been, overcast, rain. It got really, really cold again. And then toward the end of the week, it started kind of warming up and the rain kind of let up a little bit. And today is a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. So I'm just like, yes, this is a Monday. We're going to take over the world today. So yeah, some really, really cool stuff happening. But I suppose this is a great time for us to jump into the program that I have for you. All right. So, right now we are approaching Super Bowl Sunday. And, it's Monday. So it's going to be this Sunday. I think what is it going to be? The 11th in Vegas. And we've got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the San Francisco 49ers. And I will say that I am not a big sports fan myself. I um i enjoy one sport, I actually two sports that I actually enjoy watching from a spectator standpoint, whether in person or on television, or soccer and hockey, ice hockey. I love hockey. I mean, like, I'm not a super fan though, so I couldn't tell you like players names or anything like that, but any game that I'm able to go to, I will definitely go, or if we catch it on TV, it's fun to watch. But we are talking about Super Bowl Sunday. So this is supposed to be the biggest Super Bowl to date in terms of I think it's the excitement of the Chiefs versus the 49ers, and then also ticket prices. I heard a report last week that the average ticket price was 10 grand. And I'm like, whoa. In 2023, it was 8,000. So it is really, really like hyped up. And I know people are really kind of starting to get into gear and to kind of, heading into the Super Bowl weekend. But I will say this particular year, I am super excited about Super Bowl because both myself and one of my good styling friends here in Dallas we're styling someone pretty important that's tied to Super Bowl. So I'm not going to say who it is now, but to find out, definitely make sure that you are following me on my Instagram, because we'll have some really cool reveals as we get closer to Super Bowl. But anyway, this year I'm like personally invested in it, and can't wait to show you the cool things that we've been going on in terms of prepping for it. So yeah, so go for the 49ers, go for the Kansas City Chiefs. You'll see who I'm officially going to be supporting after after it's revealed, who we're styling. But yeah, I'm really, really excited. And I will be watching this year. I actually do watch Super Bowl every year for advertisements and really just to be in the know, like what's going on. My husband, he will watch. He always watches the Super Bowl. He doesn't watch full games. He'll watch like the highlights. on YouTube. So he kind of keep track of who's placing where. But we're definitely going to be watching with keen interest because of who again I'll be styling for Super Bowl. So check that out. Okay, and it's making a very, very busy week this week. All right, so then what else is also happening in the world, and this is more so for fashion, is New York Fashion Week. So New York Fashion Week kicks off this week, and it is I think it's going to be kicking off on the 9th. Yeah, on Friday. That's when the shows are going to start. So really, really excited about that. I know so I'm excited for several reasons. So first of all, we're going to be there early next week. So the Fashion Week runs from February 9th, which is this Friday, through the 14th, next Wednesday. So I am going to be visiting one particular presentation, which I'll tell you about in a moment. And then also I have the opportunity to visit some showrooms of brands that may not be on the official New York Fashion Week roster, but they are participating in their market where they've got their showrooms open. So depending on the schedule, I may be able to hit a couple of those before I head back to Dallas. But I definitely have keen interest too because and if you've been following me over the past, I would say maybe year and a half, maybe closer to 2 years, you will know that a brand that I've really, really come to love and have been really styling my beautiful clients in is Lafayette 148. And this is so freaking cool because Lafayette is going to be showcasing at New York Fashion Week for the very first time, and the brand, it's a mainstay in women's con- luxury design, really, but at much better price points than other luxury designers, right? Their clothes are not inexpensive, I will tell you that, but it's because of quality. But they've been around for years and years, right? Over 20 years. I think it might be around 23, but they've got the opportunity. So they're going to be showcasing and they're going to be going, it's going to be next Tuesday, February 13th. I'm really, really excited to have been invited. And the best part is that they let me invite some of my clients as well. So my ladies who are fans of Lafayette, and again, I've styled them in it over the past year and a half plus. Some of them are going to be with me. So we're going to have a fantastic time. It's going to be freaking awesome. So that's going to be the highlight for me. But other shows that I'm looking forward to checking out online. Hopefully, it'll be posted on YouTube. But I'm interested in seeing what Proenza Schooler has. I really love that aesthetic. That is very, very minimalist, but like an artistic minimalist in terms of structure. And I'm really interested to see what Retrofet is going to do, how they're going to do as well. So we'll try to include a link to the official New York Fashion Week schedule so you can see who is hitting when. Now, accessing it is something completely different. For the runway shows and presentations, it is pretty much invite only. And the people that they're inviting are going to be your press, going to be influencers and celebrities. Okay. Now, New York Fashion Week does have a way that you can buy in. They have some type of like different packages available that you can buy into some experiences. I don't really know what level access you would get, but that's why, hey, I check out YouTube because most of the runway shows or presentations end up being on YouTube, and you can check it out. Vogue will probably have it, but WWD will probably have coverage of it in terms of videos or the very least pictures, and perhaps Business of Fashion. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm also really looking forward to Bach Mai presenting. So if you watched this show from the beginning when we launched back in late November of 2023, I had shared that last fall I had worn a dress designed by Bach Mai. And Bach Mai, for those of you that do not know, he is he's a designer. He's based in New York right now, but he hails from Houston, Texas. So he's from Texas, yay, which is awesome. He trained in Paris, and his point of view, I think, is really just very, very beautiful and celebrating the woman's body, the woman's form. And so I'm going to show you, I'll show it. I showed this a few episodes ago, but I'll show it again. So this is the dress that he designed, that I wore to the FGI Night of Stars here in that gala last October in or November actually here in Dallas. Now I got the opportunity to meet Bach Mai at Neiman Marcus. I was invited to a private luncheon where he showcased at the time his fall winter collection, which this dress was a part of. And again, if you followed me on Instagram, you would have seen that I modeled the sample there, and the sample actually fit me, which was fantastic, and a few other really cool dresses. So if you scroll back in my timeline to like, wow, it was almost a year ago. I want to say it was like March, maybe April that we have the luncheon. You'll see some of his other designs as well. But I fell in love with this dress. This dress, the color is in my palette. You know, I'm big about colors, ladies, right? And it was just a moment. So I ordered it. I pre-ordered it really just right after, and the dress got delivered in June, and then I waited until November to wear it. And I can't wait to pull it out and wear it to something really fun and snazzy as well. But I have a definitely keen interest in him because I had the opportunity to sit with him and talk with him and talk things, all things fashion, and get really great insight into the inspiration for that collection. And what's cool about this dress, I'll show you as well, is let me put it over here. This dress was also featured in Vogue Mexico. I think it was like October or November of last year. So this is the dress here. The same dress that you see me have on. Let me see if I can bring these guys closer together. And there we go. So, hashtag who wore it better. No, stop. But so it's funny because the dress reads more green. Actually, everything, my handbag, and my handbag, I showed that as a what's in my closet several episodes again as well. That is the Tiffany Fendi collab that they did for the baguette. And that is the silk satin one that I have. So I pulled it out for the dress. Now, both the dress and the handbag read more green. It's actually a little bit more blue. It's more blue. Thank you for the thumbs up. Beautiful, right? It's actually more blue. The dress looks closer in color to the Vogue cover that you see, versus what you see the way the camera read it. But nonetheless, I mean, it's not. I think my dress isn't as quite as blue as the Vogue. It's kind of like actually in between. But boy, oh boy, it is absolutely gorgeous. So again, I've got a keen interest, and Bach Mai, his show is going to be the first it's on the first day of Fashion Week, this coming Friday. So I'm really, really excited again to see what he's going to be putting down the runway, if he does a runway or a presentation. I've got to look at the schedule to see which one he's doing, but I am totally, totally cheering him on. So yeah, so that was something cool for Fashion Week. And again, I recommend, if you love fashion, by all means, check out YouTube. They often have the footage after the fact of certain runway shows. And, again, publications like Vogue or Marie Claire, but Harper's Bazaar, those websites will likely have snaps, because obviously it's press of what's coming down the runway. So we can get a sneak peek of what's coming for fall of this year. All right. So now let's segue into talking about you. So just a reminder, it's my show. Of course, I'm going to do my own commercial, right? So just don't forget, you know, when we are getting our outfits together day to day, I was having this conversation with actually, she was a new client that onboarded with us last week. And getting dressed day to day should never, ever, ever be a chore. It should never be a slog. It should never be a point of distress or anxiety. It should be a point of joy and excitement and thinking, oh my gosh, here's what I got going down for my day. I'm excited. I'm in this mood, or I'm going to be seeing this person. This is what I want to show. I'm feeling this vibe today in terms of like my mood, music, colors. That's how I feel when I get dressed every day. Okay. I dress every day with intention, and it really doesn't matter like where I'm going. And I really challenge you to tomorrow morning when you are getting ready for your day, whatever that may be, whether you're going to work, whether you're taking care of the kids, whatever, I want you to just kind of pause and think about how you're feeling about getting dressed in that moment and just acknowledge it. Is it something positive and upbeat, or is it not? But know that if it is not, I'm here to help. So, we're coming in, this next month is actually going to be, or actually this month. This month is February. I told you it was going by so quickly. Um, this month we're turning 11. I've had my business now for 11 years. So 11 years, scores and scores and scores, hundreds of women over the years that I have worked with to really shift that mentality because they have clothes that they can rock that they absolutely love that are in their wardrobe. So if you're interested in discovering what that may feel like, what that may look like for you and your lifestyle, definitely book a complimentary style intensive. It is a 1 hour session that we have via Zoom. You do not need to be in front of your closet. You can be at work. I've had many of these in cars, okay, where the lady is in the car and she's parked and we're having like, it is such a great, great experience. It's almost like style therapy. We go deep, but it's such a meaningful discussion, and it's definitely not something that's superficial. And, it really is meant to understand kind of where we are right now, but really exploring where we can be. So if you're interested in having that complimentary session with me, definitely check out the link. We're going to have it in the show notes, or you can go to my website at roxannecarne.com/contact. And my calendar is right there that you can book. So I want to go ahead and give a round of applause to all of you that are going to sign up for a complimentary style intensive, right? We're still the beginning of 2024. We can rock this and make it work. Okay. All right. Cool beans. Okay. So I want to talk about a particular brand. Remember, ladies, Abercrombie and Fitch? New cleats on the block had a bunch of hits. What was that song? Um, Sounds of the Summer, whatever it was. I always think of Abercrombie with that song. Anyway, um, Abercrombie over like the past, I would say like 9 months, is making a comeback. And so, for those of you that are either not in the know in fashion, or it just wasn't on your radar, years ago Abercrombie was they were like the most hated retailer in fashion. And the reason was because from a representation standpoint of not only the models that represented the brand in terms of marketing, advertising, and all that, but then also hiring practices within the stores, the retail stores. It really was not diverse enough. That was what the call out was. And there were specific like memos and things that came out that were really like kind of shady. It wasn't great. And they were like lambasted, and they were like the redheaded stepchild for years. So they scrapped all that, hired new teams, got everything back to, where hopefully it should be. And really from like, I would say around like last summer, they started really kind of like getting back into a groove of being a popular brand again. And so what was interesting, and looking at my notes here, last November, so November 2023, going into December 2023, in terms of clothing and accessory shopping, as a whole, it dropped. It dropped 0.4% in terms of revenue from November to December. However, Abercrombie like really, really beat that. So I think part of it is because they have figured out that they need to continue marketing to Gen Z. And to be honest, like even as we age, they still kind of have like their core audience, right? So they rebranded, they continued their marketing efforts to Gen Z, and Gen Z honestly was is a lot more conscious, I would say, than prior generations, and especially if you're thinking about it from even a marketing standpoint, the channels of getting your message out there, your clothing out there, a lot of it is driven by social media. Gen Z grew up with social media, right? Not like me, where we had, the dialing, the rotary dials before Touchstone even came out, okay, from all those years ago. But they have had a massive, massive rebrand that really does include more inclusion. And they also kind of, from an aesthetic standpoint, they moved away from that kind of more preppy look, which is what they were really, really known for. And they kind of like emerged into getting kind of like more down to earth looks, looks that were refined, that are accessible, and things that would also kind of appeal to the young professional, right? So like basic like sheath dresses and so on. But they had a couple pieces that went viral last year. I think one of them was the a camo hoodie, and then also like pants. Um, it was a trouser pant that went really, really viral. And what was interesting when I was kind of researching this for the show today, an interesting quote that came out of this was that one of the reasons that they did well with that pant, and this is I love this stuff, the psychology behind like the motivation of shopping and getting dressed and so on. But the when you when you buy a top, you're most likely just to walk out with that top and not buy something to pair with it. But when you buy a pair of pants, you're more than likely to buy a top to go with it. So that's exactly what happened to them. And they had a huge, huge boom. And so, not only Abercrombie, but then other sister kind of retailers in terms of the target market and the clothing and everything, Hollister and American Eagle, also kind of like coming back. So I just thought that was really interesting. I may revisit them. I've got to revisit them first from a quality standpoint, because I don't typically curate pieces from stores um, um, that maybe were known for not having the best quality. And but I think it's worth revisiting, because I do feel, at every budget level, we do need to have a some good options out there for the consumer, and for them to do this brand kind of reload, right? And really kind of get, I would say, back to basics. Lots of really great brands that kind of hover on the basics do really, 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 really well. Another one that has been growing and getting steam is Buck Mason. And I did a whole review last year. If you check my channel, I have a video where I'm reviewing pieces that I had gotten. And they're also brand that kind of like hang out in like core basic pieces. Their palette is very neutral. But it's great because these are the pieces that you can pair back with that statement piece, right? We all need good core pieces. So it'll be interesting to see what direction Abercrombie and Fitch continues to go. But right now, I mean, they're really, really killing it with their audience, and they're really killing it in terms of revenue. So I really want to know from you, you know, is this a brand that you shopped at in the past, either your teeny bopper days or a little bit older, as a young professional? Is it a brand, given the information I shared with you today, is it a brand that you may consider revisiting for maybe some core basics? I think it's worth taking a look at. The next time that I in the mall and have a little bit of time, I may pop in just to see what they have going on. For me, I've got to like interact with it. I need to have touch, feel, because let me tell you something. If something feels like cheap and nasty, I'm done. Okay. I'm not paying I'm not paying one red cent for something that is not made from a textile standpoint, coming from really, really great textiles and materials, and textures, and definitely not if the stitching is awful. All right. So I would love feedback if you have had good interactions, or maybe even not, with Abercrombie. I'd love to know, because again, they have not been on my radar for years. So I really don't know if it is actually true that they have improved a little bit. So yeah, let me know your feedback there. All right, moving right along. Let's do a style secret. So, are any of you ladies in between sizes when it comes to your footwear? Or you find like, I'm a 7 here, but I'm a 7.5 if I wear a sneaker, or with this brand. If you are having issues, and this what I'm going to share with you, the hack is more centered toward if a shoe is too big, a little bit too big for you. This I think this is going to be super, super helpful for you. So these right here, these are sizers, these are shoe sizers, and I'll include a link to these. What these are individuals. So we have small, medium, and large. Okay, so these are foam inserts that go right into your shoe in the toe box, and then your toes just butt up right against it, right? And this is perfect for when you have a shoe that is a little bit too big. So if you go shoe shopping, I recommend having this on hand, because sometimes for some brands, you literally are in between sizes. If you go this size, it's too small. And obviously, you cannot wear a shoe that is too small, because you will be in a world of pain, right? But then if there is a shoe that you really, really want that's super cute, but it's like a half size up, or the way the shoe is made, it may be in your size, but it just has a little bit of room, you can get these foam inserts. So again, I'll add a link to these in the show notes. And they've got different, different widths depending on the depth of the toe box. If you have a shoe that's a little bit more bulky, you would need something like this. You're more than likely not going to be trying to put something like this in a pump, but maybe one of these two sizes can go in. So that is a helpful style secret to you. I always have these on deck when I have fittings with clients, because we're often trying on different pairs of shoes. And the thing is, if you were to go to next size up, it would really be too big. So if you find that you have a little bit of room, you can use this to kind of bring that size down. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know if you've used any shoe sizers before. They also do come also in different shapes. There's some that have like contours of the toes. I had used those for quite a while, but I don't see as many these days. I see the wedges that I just showed you. But let me know if if you've used this, or if this is something brand new and is helpful. Okay. All right. And don't forget, as you're watching, ladies, certainly give me a like, and subscribe. If you are new to the channel and you would love to just have, just hear some fun, cute, and thoughtful, sometimes conversations around style, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. I always try to educate, share what I know, and uplift. And it would be such a big help if you did that for the YouTube algorithm, right? We're always trying to figure out, right, how to work. Okay, so I want to share with you this week's Fab Find of the Week. This part of the show is where I am sharing a great find. Usually, it's a piece, more often than not, a piece that's on sale, or it may be just something that's really, really cool that you won't see again. And this piece is a beautiful pair of leather cropped pants. There we go. So this has a little bit of a flare. This is by ATM, or Anthony Thomas Malello. I purchased ATM pieces for clients in the past. It's a really supple leather, and I don't know if how much detail you can see, but it almost has kind of like a denim-ish look. And I love that the rich chocolate color. So here, if we think about where we are, it's February 5th. Right now, stores are starting to kind of liquidate their fall winter fashion. So pieces that were left over from the Black Friday holiday sale, holiday shopping, all of that, and these pieces are going on clearance and they're available. So this particular one, the original price on this was $1,095, and right now it's on sale for $328.50. There aren't tons and tons of sizes available, and I'm telling you, when things get marked down like that, I mean that's like a $700 discount, right? They go very quickly. So that's why I wanted to show it with you. But we've got this cute flare going on. Let me show you another couple of pictures of it. So we've got the side slit pockets. If I recall correctly, the model that is wearing this is was the 5'10", so definitely some height. So if you are more average height, 5'6", that's my height, 5'5", or if you're petite, this is something that could work for you too, and you will have a little bit of a smaller gap showing the leg. But again, I'm in love with this color. It does give fall vibes, and while you may not be inclined because of the coloring, and we're eventually getting to spring to wear it right now, this is what I do. I buy pieces on sale for myself, and I sit on it until the next season. Okay, because that's when you get the good stuff. I buy a lot of things that are on discounted pricing. Not everything, but a lot of things. But I just think this is so so cute. It gives me that coated jean vibe, and this is something that would really easily pair back with like a great like turtleneck cashmere top or sweater, a beautiful, maybe like soft white ivory blouse. You could do a cool kind of sweatshirt on top of it, if the colorway, was one that complemented this chocolate. But it's 100% leather, and I think again that this is an absolutely fantastic buy for only $328. So I will be including the link to this in our show notes for you. And let me know what you think about this piece and if you're lucky enough to score it. All right. Okay. So don't forget again to book your style intensive, your freestyle intensive with me if you want to finally wrap your arms around your style, and give yourself a little boost, right? We need that sometimes, right? I'm really happy to have that conversation for you. And I'll tell you this, even though I'm based in Dallas, people are like, well, Roxanne, do you work with people that are in different regions? Absolutely, from day one. And thank goodness, prior to, what happened in 2020 that affected us all, I already had setups where I would fly to clients. We have clients that fly here. Also, working virtually. That was something that I did from day one. So I always say, do not let geography be a limiting factor in terms of how we can work together. There is always a will and a way. And I have many clients that are not here in Dallas or in Texas. Okay. I'm actually after New York next week, I'm flying to Atlanta to visit one and potentially onboard a second client that lives in Atlanta as well. And I probably have, I have a good handful, about 5 or 6 clients that live in Atlanta already. And I visited, I think 2 or 3 of them last year. So really just all good stuff. Again, geography is not a limitation. All right, one of my favorite parts of the show is what's in my closet. So, from a stylist standpoint, I think it's really fun to share what makes my heart sing, what I'm attracted to, what I love. And for you to see, if you're not following me on Instagram, which you should be, so make sure you give me a good old follow if you're not. But it gives you a little bit of insight into how I dress for every day, how I dress for special occasions, special pieces that have a certain meaning to me, but also that I do wear. And yeah, so let me show you what I got for you today. So, and it is in this garment bag because, well, you'll see in a minute why. So I'm going to do a little reveal. All right, and I'm going to take it out. Look at this beauty. So remember earlier in the show, I had mentioned being excited about what Retrofet was sending down the runway. So this right here is a Retrofet dress, and it is made of glass. It's all mirrors. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So we have a little reveal here, kind of cutting across the bust area. So it's very sexy. As you can see, it is very structured in its kind of hourglass um, shape. We have one zip pull that goes right down the center. But look at this. I mean, you can see how much it gleams. Now you see the tag here. I haven't worn it. I got this last year, or maybe it was the fall before. I picked this up at Neiman Marcus, and I was so excited when I saw it. And I think this was hanging on a mannequin, and I got them to take it down because it was the only one that was in my size, and they didn't really have very many. But I was like, I'm gonna have a moment with this. I don't know when. And if you, again, if you follow me, you will know that I've shared this with you before, that I buy opportunity pieces. Okay. So even though I tell my clients, don't buy something and then have it sitting in your closet for 2 years, the reason it's sitting in their closet for 2 years is because they don't know what to do with it, or they may have made a purchase that probably was not the best purchase for them in terms of their shape, in terms of color, all that, right? I know what works for me. And this dress on is absolutely stunning. The only thing I will say about this dress, though, is that when it's on, because obviously it's lined, but when it's on, you can kind of feel little pokes throughout of the edges of the glass. So is it the most comfortable? Probably not. I probably would have some type of shapewear underneath just for the reason of having an extra layer. But it's not anything that's too crazy. But it's absolutely beautiful. And again, it's retrofit. I did look to see if it was available anywhere for sale, but because I would be happy to share the link with you, but I cannot find it anywhere. I think there may have been like a used one, but it's a really, really, really interesting dress. And I can't wait to wear it. And yeah, if you follow me on my Instagram, when I do wear it, believe me, you will know. You will know. And the other cool thing about this too, this happens to me every once in a while. I will be watching TV, watching Netflix or Sling or whatever, and I actually don't watch a lot of television. I usually have it playing in the background, but every once in a while, I will see something that I own on a model, on a TV, on a celebrity, on and or even like my accessories, handbags and whatnot, especially if it was something like that just came out. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. So I remember I was watching, so I really do enjoy watching the Real Housewives franchises. I watch, my favorite one is always been Beverly Hills. After that, I watch Atlanta, and I also watch like Married to Medicine and whatnot. But I keep that, again. I usually am playing that in the background. So the season closed for Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That I think it was the end of last season, not the current one that's on air right now. The end of last season. Guess who had my dress on? None other than Erica Jane. So I'm sitting there, so at the reunion, I'm like, that is my dress that is hanging in my closet, and I know I've had that before. Yeah. But she beat me in wearing it. She wore it before I had the opportunity to. And she is a tall lady. So you see where it hits her here. It hits like right in the middle here of the top portion of her leg. For me, it does hit a little bit lower, but it was really kind of cool to see the dress that I just showed you. I saw it on TV and Erica Jane was wearing it. So there we go. But again, can't really find that dress anywhere else. And again, opportunity pieces. If you see something that you are like, oh my gosh, if it's something within what you can afford, I would recommend getting it if you know that you will have a moment where you can use it. If you don't, then don't do it. This morning we had a client come over who we actually had a fitting last week with a bunch of different dresses because I'm styling her for she's an event planner and but she's also very very active in her sorority community and also church, and so she has a lot of different lunches and galas, both that she's involved in either from an event planning standpoint or just personally. So we had a great fitting last week, and got her some really beautiful dresses for the upcoming spring season. And one of the dresses arrived late. So she came, actually, you know what? I'm going to show it to you because we haven't bagged it up. I'm going to go get it. Um, I'm coming to grab this dress right here. I had to pull this from the studio. Okay, so this is the dress, and I'll drop a link for this as well. This is absolutely beautiful. This is Karen Millen, and look at the beautiful kind of jewel embellishment that we have here. But here's the back. So we have that continued here on the top panel of the shoulder, but then you've got this sway with the exposed back, and it's actually a pretty short skirt. When you have it on you, depending on your height, it is short. She looked amazing, amazing, amazing in it, but she couldn't take it because for the whites and she forgot to tell me this detail, the whites that she needs to wear for her events, for her soror, can't have any embellishments. It just needs to be white, uninterrupted. So but that was fine. I always love giving my clients options, but this is like a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful number. So I'll drop a link for this one as well. But my point with this, where I was going with this, let me close the loop on the story, is that we had a conversation about whether it would be um, beneficial for her to keep it because we were kind of like thinking through what other opportunities could she have, and we got her great dresses last week as well, and we decided for her not to keep it because it just for her, she just would not have an occasion where she would wear that particular ensemble with the cut, in the back, she wants to be a little bit more modest. So that's not something that she would wear for a church function, right? Because it has that reveal. But then, for the white uninterrupted, and there's nothing else outside of that she would have an occasion to wear it for. So rightfully, she and I completely supported it and it made sense, made the decision not to move forward with the dress. That is a smart thing. So this is what I'm saying. If you have an opportunity piece like what I just showed you, the opportunity means that it's an opportunity for you to actually wear it. Do not buy something in hopes of, maybe I could. Like for me in my lifestyle, and especially in what I do, I'm always going to really, really cool. That's one of the blessings of being a personal stylist is that I'm get invites to really, really cool events. And I always want to have something fresh and ready. So I always know that I'm going to have an opportunity and then I wait for the right alignment of the environment, who's going to be there, what is it for, if there's a color theme, things like that. Everything that I buy as an opportunity piece, I always end up executing. And boy, when it executes well. So I just want you to think about that, as you are looking at certain, dresses or tops or, fun jeans or anything like that. Just make sure that it is something that you're going to be able to wear. So that wraps up what is in my closet for this week. And that really brings us to a close. I forgot to change this. I'm saying tune in next Monday, but next Monday we are going to be, I'm going to be on a plane this time next week. So headed to New York for Fashion Week. So don't tune in next Monday, but tune in Monday the 19th. And I'll be able to show you cool pictures and hopefully, if I can figure out how to get a video to work on this thing, show you maybe some cool videos of things that we've experienced and seen. But I thank you so, so much for tuning in and watching today. And if you're seeing this after the fact, definitely give us a like and a subscribe, and also drop a comment in terms of, the different pieces, the different segments that we talked about, your thoughts on them, as well as any questions or requests for me to cover any type of, any type of fashion related, questions that you may have that I can incorporate into a future show. So have a beautiful and fruitful week, and I will see you back here in 2 weeks. And in the meantime, follow me on Instagram because you got to follow me to figure out the reveal for who me and my partner are styling for Super Bowl. And then right after that, we're going to be headed to New York. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.